Can you just introduce yourselves, if you would?
Hello, I'm Rand. I'm a computer science major, and I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Hi, my name is Noor. I'm from Kuwait, and I major in finance.
Had thought of something on, oftentimes with religious holidays or times, like we do something in class, right? And I've always thought about doing something like during Ramadan, and I haven't, and I haven't because I never experienced Ramadan, right? I mean, I have vicariously through my friends, but I personally have never experienced Ramadan because, well, first off, I'm a Muslim by accident, but not far enough that I would fast or, that sort of thing. But 2 weeks ago, I was in Egypt when we had that week off. I was in Cairo, and it was Ramadan, and I had my first experience, and I was blown away, right? And so Bassem, our friend Bassem Marasso from Iraq, so he was going to come and meet us there, and we really wanted him to come. In the end, he didn't because he wanted to spend the time with his mother. But what he said was, oh, Cairo, I've always wanted to spend Ramadan in Cairo. It's a beautiful place to be, right? And I thought, so immediately kind of grabbed my attention because I thought, oh, okay, this will be interesting. So, hey, so tell us so what's Ramadan? First off, let's just start right there.
So Ramadan is the 9th month usually in the Islamic calendar. It's usually determined when when there's a crescent. And basically it's when Muslims start to fast. And they usually would start fasting from dawn till sunset. And so do you want me to talk about what's it about and what?
Yeah, well, let's go back to the calendar. So we use a Gregorian calendar, and Muslims use an Islamic calendar, and they don't line up perfectly, right? So that Ramadan happens 11 days. It's 11 days earlier every year, right? Yeah. So it just keeps changing, and it just goes around and around, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it lasts for about 30 days.
Yeah.
And you're fasting. So when the sun rises, does everyone know? Is it just how do you know? Because the sun rises or doesn't, you can just decide when it rises. Here.
It's basically just before the sun rises, so around dawn.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the call to prayer, so we pray 5 times a day. And so the first prayer...
Wait, some people pray 5 times a day.
Well, if you're Muslim, you're meant to pray.
You're supposed to, but...
Yeah. So the first prayer is around dawn, and so you eat something beforehand, usually dates or drink water, and as soon as that prayer is called, you stop eating until the 4th prayer of the day, which is Maghrib, which is when the evening is where sunset, and that's when you start eating again.
So it's eating and drinking, right? You're not supposed to even have water, right?
No water, no food, no gum.
No gum?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be hard.
Nothing, absolutely.
So, and even unless you're sick or if a woman is pregnant or something, there are...
Or if you're traveling as well. It's
traveling.
Yeah, it's practicality. So if you can't fast, you don't, you get the day off and then you can fast after Ramadan is finished.
Oh, wait. So maybe that explains why so many Muslims that I encounter here at Penn State don't fast. Because technically you're traveling. You know what I mean? You're here in the U.S., you're traveling. So it's bro, so you're all good. You don't even have to, you don't have to pray. You don't have to fast either. So you're all, yeah. So what do you do? What's the overall purpose of this 30 days?
So technically you're not traveling, by the way, because you live here.
I know that. I know. I'm just trying to give people an out so they don't feel guilty.
Okay. So basically, Ramadan is about a lot of things, and one of those reasons is a lot of people around the world suffer, they have no food, they have no water, and fasting really gives you just like a very small sense of how people feel around the world. Like, just no water, no food, and then like sitting on the table waiting for your food like till the last second, just really makes you feel the hunger that like just like a drop of how they feel. Like that's not even a little of compared to them.
So it's a time of reflection, right?
Yeah, it's really a time of reflection and just trying to be the best version of yourself, really, and getting closer to God.
So, like in the for Christians, for example, for people of all Christian Jews, I mean, there's lots of different aspects of this, but there are periods of time, like in the Christian world, Lent is one, right? The weeks of Lent, but you're not doing something every single day, right? Maybe you don't eat fish on Friday, you give something up for Lent, whatever. But like here, you're doing it with over 1 billion other people. You're following the same pattern day after day. And so it's a time to really just look at yourself, think about yourself, and do all the prayer, like the internal work, the prayers, the work that you would have. It's pretty cool, actually. But you have to experience it, right? Like, so it's probably very different here than when you were back home.
Yeah. And one of the like hardest thing being like a student here is like my family is like 6,000 miles away. So you have to experience it like alone. But also there's like there's a community here of like Muslims and Arabs. So it's been great. Like Ramadan was like 5 days ago. It finished 5 days ago.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But it's so much as a time of community, right? So I didn't know that until I knew that, right? I want to go through a couple things here with you all, right? But I didn't have a full sense of it till I experienced it, right? So I want to be clear, so the class understands. Like especially in the summertime. If it's really hot, and where the two of you live, especially in Kuwait, man, Kuwait's so hot in the summertime because it's the hottest of the Gulf countries. Like in the day, if you're fasting and it's 120 or 130 degrees, there's not much you can do because you're not drinking water, you're not out working, you can't. So all day long, you're just going really easy, and things tend to slow down a lot, right? And then at night, things start popping, man, because once you break fast and you're with all of these people in your community, first off, you're having a big meal, you're bringing all these people together, it's a really cool experience, and then it just goes, right, till like how far into the morning are you rocking and rolling? Like, can you just say something about that? Because I'm going to show a video from Cairo. Yeah.
I mean, like, me personally, I'd sleep like around 5 a.m.
You go to sleep around 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're up all night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, for as long as I remember, like back home, usually Ramadan would start like around like summer break for me. So I don't really remember going out or doing something. And so it's very easy. And like for the people who go and work, I feel like it's hard for them. And like now I feel what they feel since like going to school every day and then like...
Hold the mic closer.
Like from going to school every day, so that's kind of like hard to like balance school and like sleeping and waking up in the morning and just like having a habit. And it's cool like that there's a lot of people here who are also celebrating Ramadan, but like everything at night is closed, and then like back home everything would open like after 8. Yeah. And it's like...
Yeah, so it's like everyone's in it, right? It's so, it's cool. It's so cool because it's such a time. By the way, you said, I know, you struck me, it's like 30 days. It's 30 days of connection and building community, right? Community ties. So here, can you put that one up on the side? I want to play it. So I was down in the souk in Cairo, and this is like 12, this is it past midnight, okay? And now understand, like it's past midnight, we're in the souk, you can, just This is me walking through. Look at all the kids, first off. Just look at, it's happening, man. Like this is a happening place. Like this is on a Wednesday night or a Tuesday night, by the way. And the thing that's so striking is the families that are out, right? Like everyone's just out. Like you're gonna be out. The motorcyclists coming in, all the shops are open. I mean, they're open all night long, right? And it's just, look at that kid, look at the little kid on the motorcycle. Yeah, don't do that at home, kids. Yeah. And it's so happening, right? It's just, this would be like the souk in Kuwait, right? I mean, where did I know? Look at the little girl with the, yeah. That's cool, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much like this in like almost all Arab countries. Like the malls are still open, restaurants are open until like 5 a.m. where they close out.
Because you got to eat at night, right? And then, I mean, you're breaking your fast, but then you're going to eat a big meal. Like you're going to eat an early breakfast. Like you got to like prepare for the fast. So you got to eat and drink before you actually wake up and start your day, start the next fast, which is kind of telling in a way. Right.
Yeah. I also want to mention, since Ramadan is like 10 days, it keeps changing every year.
Yeah.
When like I was a child, it used to be in the summertime, like Noor mentioned. And so like right now it's like when school is starting, and even in like the Middle Eastern countries. So it's like a shift for all of us to like go to school and be fasting or Whereas before it was like vacation.
Yeah, it's like
you
vacation.
can sleep whenever and wake up whenever.
Yeah, you have to build it in, right? I was going back to my hotel and I see this barber shop that's open. And I'm just like, hey, I need a haircut. So I go in, the barber shop's open, right? There's one, it was actually like 1:30 a.m. And I'm just like, so I asked, hey, nobody spoke English. And so I just figured out, I'm asking him, are you any good? Like, are you going to butcher my hair? Are you going to be all right? And he's like, yeah, no, come on, man. And so, so I got a haircut at like 1:30 in the morning, right? And like, why not? This is the thing. It's just hopping all night long, And then we figured out the guy had a fade. Wait, go back. You go back. Go back to the haircut thing. Yeah, I just want to show you. Just start it again really fast. See the dude in the hat? Like he had this fade, and I'm like, dude, do not give me a fade. All right, I'm too old for that shit. And it was really, really cool. And he was good, man. I think he gave me a really nice haircut. Of course, everyone has their phones out. This was long after prayers, by the way. Yeah. And like, see how things are just popping, man. Things are going, and they're going all night long. And it's so safe, right? Like, first off, Cairo is pretty safe anyway. But it's so safe because it's a month in the Muslim world. It's the month of reflection. So like, there's just it's just safe. Everything's so safe. Except taxi rides. Anything else you want to say about that people could know about this? Like, what's your favorite part of Ramadan, actually, each of you? How about that?
For me, it's honestly like the vibes of Ramadan. Like, since I was a kid, it's just like a cultural thing. Like, you go with your family, you wait, like you restrain yourself from like anything bad. Like, even if you're swearing or you have a bad mouth, you stop yourself from that for a whole month. So it's I like the vibes and just like the cultural aspect of it as well.
See, the purpose of it is, and the reason it's celebrated, by the way, is it's recognized as when God or Allah first gave the Quran to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And so the words of the Quran were first given to the Prophet Muhammad, and at the beginning of what's celebrated at the beginning of Ramadan. So that's why this is a holiday in the first place. Noor, how about you? What's your favorite part of it?
I do like the habit you get to have like after Ramadan, like just like she said, like stop swearing and like saying bad things, or like getting used to reading the Quran every day and just having to like make good deeds, like instead of just like waiting for Ramadan every year. I feel like you catch on and you get to do that like most of the time throughout the whole year, and just getting a good habit out of it, I feel like is my favorite part.
Yeah, like breaking one's habit, breaking one's routine, right?
Like I mean,
it's cool. No, I saw that, man. I really felt like I wanted to be in that community. And so the first night I went down to the souk, the second night Lori and I went back, and we were just kind of just walking around, you know, like. And then the third night we went back again, not to this area, but to a different area. And like, yeah, it's just awesome. You can just feel the energy, the families, the connections, and like, yeah, it was really, really special. So that's cool.